Hello everyone. In this tutorial, I am going to introduce static structural analysis using ANSYS Workbench. So learning in the video is introduction to static structural analysis, pre-processing, solution, post-processing, and I am going to conduct a static structural analysis on 3D cantilever beam. So for any FEA analysis, we have three steps, that is pre-processing, solution, post-processing. That is we are going to learn by using this presentation as well as in the ANSYS Workbench. So keep watching this video. So introduction to static structural analysis. So basically this determines the displacement, stresses, strains and forces in structures or components caused by loads that do not induce significant inertia and damping effect. So in this analysis we are going to determine different deformations, that is total deformation, or it may be a directional deformation, or stresses, that is equivalent stresses or principal stresses or strains, and different type of forces in structures, and that caused by the loadings, and we do not consider any effects like inertia and damping. Next, steady loading and response conditions are assumed. So in this analysis we are going to assume the steady loading and response, and the loads and the structure's response are assumed to vary slowly with respect to time. So the variation in the loads are very small, as considered as a constant. This is a steady condition of the loading. Then the different types of loads available for this type of analysis, that includes external applied forces and pressure, then steady state inertia forces such as gravity and rotational velocity, then imposed non-zero displacement and temperature. So all these type of loading conditions or types available with this static structural analysis in ANSYS Workbench. Then there are point to remember. So static structural analysis can be linear or non-linear. So linear means your material is going to obey your Hooke's law, that means stress is directly proportional to the strain, and deformation is elastic deformation, it is not plastic deformation. So it has only one Young's modulus, we can say. And in case of non-linearity, we have large deformation, plasticity, stress stiffening, and contact or gap element, and so on. So all these known as non-linearity. So already we have discussed what is meant by non-linearity in my previous videos. So it is basically occurs for non-linear materials or non-linear geometries. So this is a part of non-linearity. So in this tutorial we are going to learn about linear static structural analysis. I am not going to consider any non-linearities in the video. So there are three steps for any FEA analysis, that is pre-processing, solution and post-processing. So first is pre-processing. So the pre-processing of any analysis system involves specifying the material, generating a mesh and defining the boundary conditions. So here we have to specify the material properties like Young's modulus, yield strength or Poisson's ratio. Then we have to generate the mesh according to the geometry or according to type of analysis. Then we have to define the boundary conditions. So in the previous videos of mine, we have discussed how to specify the materials and how to generate a good quality mesh. Here the main focus is on boundary conditions. So in ANSYS Workbench, various tools related to the boundary conditions are available in the environment contextual toolbar. So when you open mechanical workbench, then you will find this environment contextual toolbar that is shown in the figure here, and that when in order to provide support to the model, you need to choose the required tool from the support drop down. So here you will find this support drop down menu. From here you can select any type of load that is required for your simulation, like fixed support or displacement or any type of support, cylindrical support or any type. Right. Similarly, to add a load, choose the desired tool from the loads drop down in the environment contextual toolbar. So this is your environmental contextual toolbar, and there are different toolbars available, that is inertia, load, support, and conditions and direct FE. So from this you can choose whatever the supports or loads you require for your simulation. So next step is solutions. So in an analysis, after pre-processing is done, the next step is to solve the analysis. So FEA software generates element matrices, compute nodal values and derivatives, and stores resulting data file. So here when whatever software you are using for the your FEA problem, it can generate element matrices. It computes the result for your node values, and it will store result in data files. So in Ansible Workbench, you will use the solve tool from the standard toolbar to run the solver. Right? The solver runs in the background of the software and acquires result of an analysis based on the specified boundary conditions. So whatever may be the boundary conditions you have given or specified in the FE model, based on that it will show you the results. This is a solution. So it is a totally automatic way to solve given mathematical equations, right? So there is no interference or intervention of any user. So next and last step is post processing. That is here you will find your results in different formats like tabular or graphical format. So the output from the solution phase is in the numerical form and consists of nodal values of the field variable and its derivative. So here field variables means displacement or stresses strength. These are the field variable, and we have the values at the node values, node points, right? And it is in the form of numerical. So here we have to convert that form in a graphical way. So post processor processes the result data and displays them in graphical form to check or analyze the result. So it is very convenient to interpret the result, right? So instead of numerical form, if it is a graphical form, it is very easy to analyze the result. So we can interpret the result very well. The various results that can be evaluated are deformation, strain, stress, energy, mineralized stress, and so on. So different type of results are available. We can evaluate by using this post processing in the Ansible Workbench. So here three tabs is given: geometry, print preview, and report preview. So here if you are interested to print any deformation or stress, then can be print by here. Then if you want to see the report of whole analysis, then this can be done by using this report preview. So this is about the three steps that is in the FEA analysis. So we are going to perform this static structure analysis on this cantilever beam, that is 3D beam. Okay, the material is isotropic, so I am going to perform this linear type of analysis. Therefore material is isotropic and the material is your structural steel, which is default, right? Then total force that we are going to apply is 500 Newton in y-axis vertically downward. It is shown in the figure. Then constant is fixed support on the left face of this your cantilever beam. Then output that we require total deformation, directional deformation, and movement mass stresses. So here total deformation is the summation of all the deformation along all the axis, and direction deformation is the deformation along particular axis like x, y, z, right? That is the difference between these two deformations. So here are the dimensions of the geometry is given. The length of the your cantilever beam is 250 mm, and height is 10 and width is 50. So let's begin with the Ansible Workbench. So here I have opened this Ansible Workbench product schematic window. Here we have to drag and drop this static structural analysis team into product schematic. Give the tutorial name is cantilever. Then you will find number of cells in this analysis systems like engineering data, geometry, model, setup, solution, and results. So we have to fulfill the inputs requirements of each cell one by one. So we are going to consider this default material, that is structure steel in the engineering data. Then here we have to create geometry. So right click on geometry and open new design modular geometry. So in this geometry cell we are going to create this our cantilever beam, that is 3D beam. Then in this mechanical window or model window we are going to assign specified boundary conditions and load conditions. Then we generate the mesh. So it will take some time to open this design modeler. This is graphic window of this design modeler. So let's start with geometry. Click on the XY plane, then right click to look at. then click on sketching, then from the draw toolbar select rectangular tool and create. So before that click on units, and it is should be in millimeter, right? The default unit is millimeter. Then select rectangle and draw a rectangle, then give the constraint. So it is symmetry. You have to give the constraint here, symmetry. So select this axis, then select these two vertical lines, then again right click, select a new symmetry axis, then select horizontal axis, again select these two horizontal lines. So in this way we have made it symmetry to both axes. Then give the dimensions. So your width is 50 and your height is 10. So change the dimension from the table. So your h1 is 50 and height is 10, right? So click on this isoball, then click on this modeling mode and click on this extrude feature. Then click on this geometry, select any of the line from the geometry and apply. Then there is no need to change anything, you will only change the depth. It is 250, the length of the center beam is 250, and click on generate and hide the sketch from here. So here your geometry is ready, right? Your 3D cantilever beam is ready. So close this design modeler and open mechanical window for the further process. Here we have to define, we have to generate meshing, then we will assign boundary conditions, loading conditions, then we will give the input for our outputs like total deformation or deformation, then stresses. So that is our output required. So here mechanical window is ready. Go to the units view and of this ruler, right, for the better visualization. So view these outlines, trees, we can say tree outline. So here click on this model. Under this model you will find the geometry that is we have created in design modeler. Then material, it is structure steel. Then geometry is your solid, right? Then your material is structure steel. And after this we have to mesh the model. So before just generate default mesh. So here we are generating the mesh using the default settings. So default setting is much better, and it has created your brick element. And if you want to see the number of elements here, then click on the mesh and view the details of the mesh. In this, click on the statistic. So from this you will see number of elements is 80 and nodes 683. So it is better mesh, we can say. We can also reduce the size of element, then it will create more than 4 elements along the your width. So but I can say it is much good quality of mesh here created. Next here we have to assign boundary conditions and then give the load. So here click on the static structural. So here you find this environment contextual toolbox, right, a toolbar. So in this toolbar you will find number of toolboxes, right, inertia, then loads, support and conditions. So from we have to give the fixed support. So click on this support drop down menu and here find the fixed support and give. So it is asking for the geometry selection. So select face, then apply. So your fixed support is created. Then again click on static structural. Then we have to give the load on this edge. Click on loads, then select forces. So here forces, again it is asking for geometry. So select this edge, or you can say select a selector from here and select this edge, then apply. So here defined by vector, there is two options available for this vector and component. So I am going to choose component because component means here xyz components. So I have to assign the load along the y-axis in downward direction. So here I have selected components for defined by selection. Then here click on this y component and give a minus because it is downward, minus 250, sorry 500 Newton, right? So enter. So it will showing you the direction of your force. It is downward direction in the y direction. So this is your force and boundary conditions, like boundary condition and load conditions are given. And next here there is another way to insert these loads and supports. So click on the static structure, right click and insert. The same way you can insert the same thing from this shortcut menu. Here you can find fixed support, here you can find forces of pressure, then bearing load, pressure, force. So all these things available with your this static structural. So depending on the type of analysis, you will find a different this toolbar available. So this all the supports that is in static structure may not be available for another type of analysis. So depending on the type of analysis, it is you will find different type of supports available or loads available. Alright. So again here for solution. So again when you click on solution node, so here you will find a number of toolbars available. Deformation you will find total deformation, direction deformation, then strain, stresses, energy, damage, linearized trace and probe. So different toolbars available. So here we have to now we want here total deformation, right? Again we want here direction deformation. So here when we select total deformation, that means it is a summation of all the deformation, a summation of all the deformation along the given xyz directions. And then directional means it is a deformation along particular axis. So here when you click on the direction deformation, in details of direction deformation there is a definition settings in which you will find orientation selection box. Here the axis is x-axis, that means your directional deformation is along x-axis. If you want similar direction deformation in y-axis, again we have to insert this deformation along y-axis, right? So in this way we can change the orientation to y-axis. Again insert deformation, direction deformation along z-axis. So in this way we can select different axis as per requirement. Then again last we have to we want output for stresses, that is equivalent stresses. Number of stresses available. So here we are going to select equivalent stresses. So this is the output we require. So click on solution, right click and click on solve. So from this you can start the simulation or solution, or another option you just simply click on this solve. So our solution is in progress. So here we have done with our second step, that is solution step. Then the next step is post processing. Here we have different outputs here, and click on this total deformation. So here you will find deformation, that is 3.06, that is maximum deformation at the free end, right? Then this blue color indicates zero deformation or very minimum deformation at the fixed end. Here the contour pattern, the contour of the color is showing different deformation at the different elements, we can say here. And this red color indicates the maximum deformation and blue color indicates the minimum deformation. This is the color band that indicates the pattern of the deformations. So again this is total deformation, that is summation of all the deformation. Then again we will click on this direction deformation which is along the x-axis, then which is near to 0. We can say it is 0.0042 because our force is vertically along y-axis, it is vertically downward. So the deformation on x and z is very small, which is near to 0. So here deformation, this is direction deformation along x-axis. Similarly check for y-axis, so it is downward, therefore consider only magnitude, and this minus 3.058. So it is near to the total deformation, which is 3 point. Only consider magnitude here. Your deformation is 3.058. So your total deformation is 3.06. So your total deformation, which is nearly equal to the direction deformation along y-axis, because your force is in y direction. Next, check for z direction. So here your orientation is z-axis, and here you will find deformation which is 0.092. That is near to 0. So in this way we can find deformation along different axes. Then check for next is equivalent stresses. So right, so your stresses is 153.72, right? So maximum stress is 153. So here which is at the fixed end, because there is no stresses at the free end, you will find the maximum stress at the fixed end. So this red color indicates the maximum stresses, which is equal to 153. That is in MPa, and minimum is 0. So in this way, it will be showing us the pattern of the stresses along the geometry. So this is a we can say graphics that is help to interpret the results. Then in this result bar, you will find scales. Here, the 4.2 is auto scale. Click on this undeform. So here you will see the undeformed shape. So computer sometimes use some scale to visualize your effects, because sometimes the results is very small, that is cannot be seen by naked eye. So doctor use some scale to visualize the effects. So you will understand how your geometry going to deform or going to perform for under given load conditions. So this is the results. Here different options available. So if you want to see the show undeformed wireframe, click on this. Change this and change the scale to 4.1. So here the wireframe is showing your undeformed shape, and another one is your deformed shape. In this way we can see the deformed undeformed shape simultaneously. So, and when you want to see the results for maximum minimum, then click on this max. So it will show maximum stresses at this point. Then click on this minimum, it will show minimum stresses at the center of the center axis of this candle beam. Then if you want to see the stresses at different locations, then use probe. So it will show you the different stresses at different locations. So in this way we can see the deformations, right? Stresses at different locations. If you want to see the deformation in simultaneously, then we can use another mode, that is known as your 4 viewports. So in this way, click on this total deformation. This is for first window, use total deformation. For second window, use direction deformation for along x-axis. Then it is for y, it is for z. So in this way we can see all the deformations. There is total deformation, deformation along x, y and z directions. So this is different ways to visualize the results. So that is all about static section analysis. There are different loads and supports available as per our problem. We can use it, right? So if you like my video, please subscribe, share, and thank you.